I mean, I just let it go. I let it go. I don't get caught up in it.
Tom, tell me when you get your first big break, right? You get WCW. That's a pretty big deal, and you're pretty new to the industry, right? You're like 5 years in, I think, if I have my timing right.
No, 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 no. I was wait, let me think. So that was so let's see, 85, 90, 92. Yeah, I mean,
Five,
yeah, I mean
seven.
seven-ish. It seemed like it was long, but no, the first break was Memphis. That was around 87, 88. So that was a full-time
I was
territory.
born.
We wrestled we wrestled 6 days a week in Memphis. So like I went there, I still had to get better. Like I still had to that steady wrestling every day is the only way to make yourself better. Because I didn't really come out of a wrestling school. The kids now, they go to wrestling school and they're well tuned, well trained after, I should say, fine tuned after a couple months of just nonstop repetition. I never had that. When I trained, we were like in the backyard on mattresses and dirt and grass. The kids now have wrestling schools that are, again, they do all the drills and the drills and more drills. And that just makes them better at a quicker rate. The difference for me was supply and demand. So because there wasn't any schools back then, I got on all the shows. Like there wasn't a whole lot of new talent. It was a lot of older, like kind of stagnant guys that had been around. Not a very big group of younger guys getting into it. So like I was on all the shows because I was like the younger guy, which was great. Now if you come out of a wrestling school, you're competing with the other 20 kids in your school or whatever. So it's different now. So it's a whole lot different. But yeah, like the first break was after Memphis, I went home and then I got Puerto Rico was 92, which led to WCW September 92.
So they team you with. Now check this out, Daniel. Wait till they put this picture up. They team you with
Okay.
Tom Zenk, right? Two really good looking guys. I've heard you on other interviews with about Zenk. What was your relationship with Tom?
Tom was the best. He was the best. The only thing, what a talent. He was such a natural talent. Like he could never have a bad match. Great worker. Like I love being with him because like we look similar builds, and I can only get better being with him. And we had great, we wrestled Pillman in Austin, and I just saw there's one YouTube video. It was against Vader and Orndorff, and I had forgotten about it for a minute. I hadn't seen it, and then I saw it about a year ago, I guess. And I'm like marking out, like I was excited to because I kind of hate watching myself, but that one there I loved. I loved it. It was so much fun because I really didn't remember a lot of the match, and once I watched it, I'm like, I was impressed with just how they treated us and how the match went and everything. But Tom Zenk was great. He was a phenomenal talent. Tom was just in a bad time when I got there. Like he was bitter. He was tired of getting jerked around. He was tired of the nepotism. I went in there with an open mind where I really was excited. That was my first big break. I was so excited. But he was a downer being around him. He was so negative and he hated the company. He hated Dusty Rhodes. He hated Dustin Rhodes. He hated all the guys that were he hated Bill Watts. He hated Eric Watts. He hated anybody that got a push that they didn't deserve. And, this is after he was already a, multiple time tag team champ and multiple time everything. You know what I mean? He was there for quite a while before I got there. And, he made a lot of money in that company. He made a lot of money in that company when they were giving out guarantees and you're sitting at home collecting a paycheck. But yeah, Tom was great. I just felt bad that his life, the direction it went, and never got married, or when he finally left there, he just went home and he pretty much just lived in his parents' basement in Minnesota until he died.
Well,
It
that's
was
a that's a question I have for you. What eventually led to his demise?
just bitterness. I feel so bad because he was such an asset. Like he didn't want to do conventions. He didn't want to do appearances. He didn't want to do indies. He just would just. I didn't talk to him much after he moved back home, maybe a couple times, because I was busy. Like I used that as a springboard, and I was so busy. Like I was booked in All Japan because he burned the bridge there. So they wanted a guy to team with Johnny Ace because Tom was his partner, and Tom burned the bridge there. They were never going to bring him back. So they're like, let's bring in Johnny Gunn. It's the next best thing, I guess. So I got a ton of work after leaving WCW before I got hired by WWF. And he just kind of like disappeared into his parents' basement and was never seen or heard from again, which is it's a heartbreaker because he was such a talent, man. I still like it. If a video comes up, and I do have to send Danielle. I got to send her. They did a vignette for us. She would absolutely love. It was a sharp dressed man vignette, and they took us to a suit like a tailor, like a suit store, and they hired like 5 strippers from the Gold Club. Dallas Page's wife was a shot girl at the Cheetah Club in Atlanta. So she went out and they've hired 5 girls to be in the video. So Danielle, I gotta send this to you. You'll love it. You will love it.
Please do.